Hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'm gonna be discussing a topic that's been asked about a lot. People come to buy a used bike, and that's, as we all know, this is a very difficult process, especially to find the right bike that's in good condition, that's not gonna give you any trouble. Now, the key word here is used, and I'm gonna take you through a few things that you need to have a look at initially when you're buying a used bike, before you take it anywhere to a specialized mechanic to look at the other details. These are just a few things that will either make you walk away from the bike, maybe not. I mean, it's just to give you an idea about what type of things you're looking for when you're buying the bike, so that you buy a bike that will last you a while without causing a lot of problems and can actually enjoy it. So, first things first, you get there, you see the bike, take a walk around. Of course, it's a used bike. There are going to be scratches, there are going to be scuffs. I mean, the most important thing is that generally the bike looks like it's been taken care of. That's the most important thing, that the bike has been taken care of. So, not thrashed around the track. So, the first thing you want to do is just have a general walk around, see if you can see any things that might trigger a red flag. When you go to the person who's selling the bike, ask them not to start the bike until you get there, okay? Make sure the bike is cold. The first thing you need to do is you give it a nice cold start. Of course, my engine is warm at the moment, but generally start the bike and listen to the engine. If the engine is cold, immediately you're gonna hear sounds that are unusual. You're gonna hear ticking or knocking, things like that. But that's when it's cold. That's why I ask them to keep it cold. So start the bike, give it a couple of revs. You can automatically tell if there's something that's not right, okay, just by listening. Let the bike run for a while. Then after it's warmed up, go down and check again. See if there are any oil leaks anywhere, any gaskets. Better if the engine hasn't been washed, so you can see these things. Just look in all the areas where there could be any possible leaks. Go underneath and look there as well. That's automatically a cost for you if everything else checks out. You need to know how much money you're going to spend on the bike if you buy it. Of course, it's used. You're going to need to do a few things once you buy it. But this is just to make sure that you're not buying a lemon, basically. Next thing is, of course, like we said, there's going to be scratches here and there. I'm sure that every bike in the world has been dropped once or twice. If it's a drop from a standstill, it doesn't mean, if it's just slight scratches on the edges, it doesn't mean that the bike is bad. It's just for you to be more aware. Ask the owner. Ask him questions. If you're uncertain about something, ask. Ask the owner, how did this happen? You ever dropped it? Any accident history? You can also ask, in some places they have a record of any registered accidents, so you can know if the bike has been wrecked. But remember, the key thing is, has the bike been taken care of? So the next thing is chain and sprocket. If the chain is filthy, that means the person has not been cleaning it or lubing it, and this is not a cheap part. So it's another thing to take into consideration. It's not about the money, it's about, has the bike been taken care of or not? Another thing to look for is you have a look at the forks. So up in here, that's a dust seal, and inside there's a fork seal. My dust seals are a bit cracked. I'm going to change them, but there's no oil running. This area here needs to be completely dry without any traces of any oil. A good indicator is the condition of the seats. If the seats are in good condition, it means the bike has been parked probably indoors or in a garage, and it hasn't been sitting out in the sun. One of the basic things you can do is basically make sure that everything, all the instruments are working, dashboard's working, your RPMs and everything on the screen. Make sure the lights are working, the turn signals are working, the license plate light, all just these instruments that are there, just make sure that they are in good working order. That's also an indicator that the bike hasn't been neglected. One other important thing you can do is to open up the tank and have a look inside and see if you can see any signs of rust, because that's definitely not a good sign. Another very expensive thing on bikes, and they're not easy actually to order and have shipped in some places, are the rims. If the rims are bent in any place, that's not a good sign. That means that I need to change them, and means that the bike took a very hard, went into a very big pothole. Might be a sign to walk away from the bike because it hasn't been taken care of. The next thing is tires. Of course, if the owner has changed the tires, you have no idea of knowing. But if the tires have not been changed and there's a lot of wear in the middle, and there's a lot of signs of rubber on here and hasn't been washed off, it could be a sign that the bike was used for doing a lot of burnouts. Yes, burnouts are cool and fun and everything, but of course they take their toll on other parts of the bike as well. If the sides of the tire are worn, that means that the bike has been used to take very sharp and hard turns, probably used on a track. I'm not saying it's a sign to walk away from the bike. It's just another indicator where the bike has been and how it's been treated and how has it been used. Another thing you need to look out for is bad wiring. So, the place to look for that is under the seat. Open it up. If you see any funny wiring, this wiring I have redone recently, and as you can see, it's all done properly. It was for installing new turn signals and the license plate light. It's very well done. We used the manual to pick the exact wires out so that there are no short circuits or anything like that. So just something to keep in mind if there's any bad wiring or it looks like it's been tampered with, or if there is, ask the owner. Ask him what has been done here, what has changed. The very important thing is to ask questions, and you can judge if the owner is being genuine or not being truthful, or his reasons don't sound like they're reasonable. Generally, yeah, these are things to look for. I'm not saying that as soon as all these things check out, I mean, some of them are okay. I'm not saying as soon as they all check out, that means that the bike is good to go and you can buy it. I still recommend you take it to a specialized mechanic who can have a look at the things you can't see. Take a look at the engine, the transmission, clutch, things that you can't judge. I would do that anyway. But yeah, I mean, this is so that you don't waste your time going to several mechanics, taking bikes there that don't check out and are basically not fit to buy. The next thing you need to do is take the bike for a test ride. Okay? A couple of things. Start the engine. Drop the bike into first. Try rolling with the bike a little bit. Shift it into second. See how it shifts. And then into third. Okay? And then while you're riding it at low speed, pull in the clutch and see, does the bike wobble? How does it behave? Does it seem like there's something wrong or not? So try it out. Try shifting through the gears. See how that works. Try downshifting as well. Try doing a couple of low-speed turns. Just see, does the bike wobble? Does it feel like it's riding properly? Is there anything that doesn't feel right? And of course, definitely try out the brakes. Make sure that they're in working order. Make sure the front brakes are working. Make sure the back brakes are working. Okay. When you press the brakes, is there a vibration? Is there a wobble? Does it look like the brake discs need to be changed, that they're warped? So generally this will give you a feel for how the bike is, how it's been treated, and whether it's good to go and take to the next level and to a specialized mechanic to check out the other things. Okay guys, I mean, these are my tips. This is why I bought this bike. It is not a new bike. It's a 2011, but it's in very good condition, and thankfully it hasn't given me any trouble. Just the usual maintenance, change of oil, air filter, stuff like that, just general maintenance, nothing major. These bikes are known that they're very trouble-free and they're quite good and they're long-lasting and reliable. So generally guys, do these checks preliminarily and then take the bike to someone specialized just to give you the final go-ahead. At least you'll know it's money well spent, and you're going to get a professional opinion as well. Do not buy a bike without having it checked out, because it's going to break your bank. These things are already expensive to maintain. You want to buy something that you're going to be able to enjoy and that's not going to drain your pocket. So try to make sure you're buying something good. This is a 2011 model. It's 13 years old and it has been taken care of by the previous owner. So, and that's why I bought it. And it's actually my first naked bike. And it was a struggle to find a sports bike that was in good condition that I was willing to buy. And I had always had a thing for naked bikes, so it was a good opportunity to try something new. Anyway, if you found this video useful, please go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more tips for beginners, riding tips, tips on motorcycles, and exciting and interesting information as well. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you soon.